You can't stop a tropical storm or a hurricane, but you can take steps now to protect yourself and your family, and that's what this video is about. Before I go into the details, please do not hit the subscribe button yet until you have viewed the total video, so that you'll know if you want more videos like this from me. If you like something you see, just touch the thumbs up like button and wait on the subscribe button until the end. I will remind you then. If you live in an area at risk, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, encourages you to be prepared for hurricane season. The Atlantic hurricane season is June 1st through November 30th each year. It's always important to be prepared for a hurricane. Follow these important hurricane preparedness tips from the CDC. Get emergency supplies. Stock your home and your car with supplies. Give yourself more time than usual to prepare your emergency food, water, and medicine supplies. I have many listed below the video where the comments are located. Make a plan. Create a family disaster plan. Prepare to evacuate. Never ignore an evacuation order. Pay attention to the local guidance about updating plans for evacuation and shelters, including shelters for your pets. Protect your pets. Ensure your pet's safety before, during, and after a hurricane. And I'll go into that further. When you check on neighbors and friends, be sure to follow social distancing recommendations, staying at least 6 feet from others, and other CDC recommendations to protect yourself and others. CDC recommends that you print important documents, for example, emergency phone numbers, insurance information, before the hurricane strikes. Power outages during and after a hurricane can prevent you from accessing information online when you most need it. Preparing now can help keep you and your family safe. Make a plan. Hurricane season starts May 15th in the North Pacific and June 1st in the Atlantic and the Caribbean. It ends on November 30th. Before hurricane season each year, make sure you and your family are prepared by planning ahead. Write down emergency phone numbers and keep them on the refrigerator or near your phone in your home. Program them into your cell phone also. Locate the nearest shelter and different routes you can take to get there from your home. If shelter locations in your area have not been identified, learn how to find them on Google before the storm. Gather emergency supplies. During and after the hurricane, you may need supplies to keep your family safe and healthy. Remember that a hurricane could cut off your power and water supply. You also may not be able to drive because of damage to your car. Roads may also get damaged or flooded and blocked. That's why it's best to be prepared. Stock up on everything you might need now. Be sure to prepare the following items listed below by the comments. Know the difference between a hurricane watch and a hurricane warning. Listing for National Weather Service alerts on TV or radio, or check them online. There are two kinds of alerts. A hurricane watch means hurricane conditions, sustained winds, of 74 miles per hour or higher are possible in a stated area. Experts announce hurricane watches 48 hours before the expected tropical storm winds, which sustained winds of 38 to 73 miles per hour to start. A hurricane warning is more serious. It means hurricane force winds are expected in a stated area. Experts issue these warnings 36 hours before the time they may arrive. If you hear that there's a hurricane watch or warning in your area, you can take these steps to get ready. Get your car ready. Make sure your car is ready before the storm hits. Fill your car's gas tank. Move cars and trucks into the garage or under cover. Always keep an emergency kit in your car. If you don't own a car, consider making plans with friends or family or neighbors to call authorities to get a ride if you need to evacuate. Get your family and pets ready. Go over the emergency plan with your family. Keep checking for updates about the storm. Watch TV, listen to the radio, or check online. Call the hospital, public health department, or the police about special needs. If you or a loved one is older or disabled and you won't be able to leave quickly, get advice on what to do. Get your home ready. Clear your yard. Make sure there's nothing that could blow around during the storm and damage your home. Move bikes, lawn furniture, grills, propane tanks, and building materials inside or under shelter. Cover up windows and doors. Use storm shutters or nail pieces of plywood to the outside window frames to protect your windows. This can help keep you safe from pieces of shattered glass. Be ready to turn off the power. If you see flooding, downed power lines, or you have to leave your home, switch your power off. Fill clean containers with water, drinkable water. You'll want to do this in case you lose your water supply during the storm. You can also fill up your sinks and bathtubs with water for washing. Check your carbon monoxide CO2 detector's battery to prevent CO2 poisoning. If a hurricane is coming, you may hear an order from authorities to evacuate, leave your home. Never ignore an order to evacuate. Even sturdy, well-built homes may not hold up against a hurricane. Staying home to protect your property is not worth risking your health and safety. You may hear an order to stay home. If driving conditions are dangerous, staying at home might be safer than leaving. If you need to evacuate, grab your emergency supply kit, your go bag, and only take what you really need with you: a cell phone, chargers, medicines, identification like passport, license, and cash. Unplug your appliances if you have time. Turn off the gas, electricity, and water. Follow the road that emergency workers recommend even if there's traffic. Other routes might be blocked or flooded. Never drive through flooded areas. Cars and other vehicles can be swept away or may stall in just 6 inches of moving water. Contact your local emergency management office and ask if they offer accommodations for owners and their pets. Learn more about evacuating your pet later on from me. If you need to stay home, keep your emergency supply kit in a place where you can easily access it. Listen to the radio or TV for updates on the hurricane. Stay inside. Even if it looks calm, don't go outside. Wait until you hear or see an official message that the hurricane is over. Sometimes weather gets calm in the middle of the storm, but then gets bad quickly. Stay away from windows. You could get hurt by pieces of broken glass or flying debris during a storm. Stay in a room with no windows, or go inside a closet. Be ready to leave. If emergency authorities order you to leave, or if your home is damaged, you may need to go to a shelter or a neighbor's house. Now, let's talk about pets. Make sure your pets wear collars, tags, up-to-date contact information, and other identification. Keep a leash or carrier near the exit. Make sure you have proper equipment for the pets to ride in the car: carriers, harnesses, pet seat belts, etc. Prepare a pet disaster kit so evacuation will go smoothly for your entire family. Ask your veterinarian for help in putting together your pet's veterinarian records. Here's a list that I have found for you now. Make a plan. Plan where you and your pet will stay in case you need to evacuate your home. Pets may not be allowed in local shelters unless they are service animals. Many disaster evacuation centers, such as the Red Cross evacuation centers, do not accept pets and other animals. Identify shelters or out-of-town friends or relatives where the pets and other animals can stay. Local boarding facilities or animal hospitals near your evacuation center, and in the case you are unable to return home right away. Create a buddy system in case you're not home during the emergency. Ask a trusted neighbor who can check on your animals and can evacuate your animals if necessary. Locate a veterinarian or animal hospital in the area where you may be seeking temporary shelter, and add the veterinarian's contact information to your supply kit. If you don't already have one, purchase a pet carrier for each of your pets. Write your pet's name, your name, and contact information on each carrier. Food and water for at least 2 weeks for each pet. For cats, litter box and litter. For dogs, plastic bags for poop. Medications for at least 2 weeks for the pet. Medical records, including records of vaccinations for rabies and other diseases, prescription medicines, and medical records and history should be put into waterproof bags and go in your go bag. Sturdy leashes and harnesses. Microchip number, if you've got one, and contact information: cell phone, work phone, home phone, or owner and close relatives or friends. Practice evacuation with your pet. Train your pets to be in their carriers by making it a comfortable place. Practice transporting your pet by taking them for rides in a vehicle similar to the one you would be evacuating in. If you do not have a car, make arrangements with neighbors, family, or friends. You can also contact your local government to learn about transportation options during a disaster. Know where your pet might hide when stressed or scared. Practice catching your pet if needed. For cats, you can practice removing your cat from his or her hiding spot and using your cat's carrier, a pillowcase, a sturdy box, anything to get your cat quickly out of harm's way. Have your entire family practice evacuating with your pets so everyone might want to take where to find their pets and where to meet. Shelter during an evacuation. Remember, during a disaster, what is good for you is good for your pet. If you leave your pets behind, they may be lost, injured, or worse. Never leave a pet chained outdoors. Contact your local emergency management office and ask if they offer accommodations for owners and their pets if accommodations are needed for your pets. Contact your local veterinarian clinics, boarding facilities, local animal shelters, family or friends outside the evacuation area, or a pet-friendly hotel, particularly along evacuation routes. Remember to take your pet's emergency kit with you and the pet. Sheltering in place. When sheltering in home with your pet, make sure the room chosen is pet-friendly in the following ways. Select a safe room, preferably an interior room with no or few windows. Remove any toxic chemicals or plants. Close off small areas where frightened cats could get stuck in, such as vents or beneath heavy furniture. Diseases that can spread between pets and people during a national disaster. A natural disaster can contribute to the transmission of some diseases. Exposure to inclement weather conditions, stagnant water, wildlife or unfamiliar animals, and overcrowding can put pets at risk for getting sick. Some of these illnesses can be transmitted between pets and people, also known as zoonotic disease or zoonoses. Some people find common disaster-related diseases that pets can pass to people are the following: rabies and disastrous diseases spread by mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks. Rabies is a virus that affects the nervous system in both animals and people. Rabies is transmitted through bites from rabid animals or through contact with their saliva. To protect you and your pets, report any bite wounds to medical personnel immediately. Practice safe handling of pets in a stressful situation. Keep your pet in a carrier or on a leash. Do not allow your pets to interact with other animals. Disease spread by mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks. Mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks are common pests of stray animals and can be a problem immediately following a disaster situation. Their bites irritate the skin and may spread a variety of diseases: Lyme disease, West Nile virus, harmful to people and animals. To help prevent illness associated with mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks, keep your pet away from wildlife and stray animals. Talk to veterinarians about the use of regular preventive treatment for fleas, ticks, and parasites for your pet. After an emergency, familiar scents and landmarks may have changed. Pets can become confused and lost, so it's important to keep pets on a leash or in a carrier when they're being transported or when you go outside. Some hazards to be aware of for pets and people include snakes and other wildlife, especially after flooding and downed power lines. When you return home, check your home for sharp objects, spilled chemicals, and exposed wiring to protect your family and pets from injury. The behavior of pets may change dramatically after a flood, flash flood, thunderstorms, or hurricanes. Normally quiet and friendly animals may become irritable. Monitor animals closely and only release them in a safe and secure environment. Contact a veterinarian if you notice any signs of stress, discomfort, or illness in your pets. I know all this information is upsetting, but better be prepared now rather than when you have to. I've listed a lot of information below, so print it out, use it to find the items you don't already have. I have additional videos coming out for other types of emergencies, so look for those videos coming soon. As promised, here's the point where you can subscribe, add comments or questions, and hit the bell to be reminded next time I have a new download. And before you leave, check out this video.